Hey guys, welcome to Atlantic City Triple Play 2022. I'm sitting today here with Angelo Gionis and Jason Marcus, old-time friends, long-time friends in the business. These two guys are mortgage extraordinaire, and I'm the real estate broker. We're going to talk a little bit about the market and what's happening. So, Angelo, I mean, you guys are in it. You're in the thick of it right now. What's going on with the mortgage industry? A lot of news out there.
A lot of news out there. One of the things a lot of people said was the real estate market was imploding. That's really far from the case. What we've seen is the mortgage market stabilize. It really went from a seller's market to not a buyer's market to a fair market where there's opportunities for the sellers to sell, there's opportunities for the buyers to buy, there's some negotiating power in between, but most important, the interest rates have leveled off. You know, we were at historic low levels. They spiked up to almost 8%, and everyone thought the whole industry was going to implode. 30-40% of the realtors and the mortgage industry people would be out of the business. And what we're here to tell you guys, that's not the case. But the one thing we've learned over the next 2 months, the professionals will lead, the professionals will grow, and everybody that's not a true professional in this industry will fold. And all the professionals from yourself to myself to Jay that really value this business and value our expertise and really put our customer first is really going to grow. And that's what I really see. So I think the market is stable. I think there's great opportunity to grow, but we did make a shift from a low interest rate market to a rising interest rate market.
So to piggy off back that, Jay, so we went from a crazy seller's market where we were getting lines around the corner, open houses, 40, 50 offers in a weekend on a house in the market, to a market now where homeowners their expectations can't be the lofty goals, pie in the sky numbers anymore. They have to be realistic. And one of the challenges that we try to do as realtors with homeowners is say, hey, listen, I understand you expect that because your neighbor's got that, but the reality is if you wanted this number, because of the rates, buyers can't afford it. Right. So on your end with the rates, what challenges are you seeing with purchases that maybe at one point they were so accustomed to the 3% that was out there that, like, what do you see in terms of payment shock with the rates?
Yeah, I mean, right, it's interesting because we have two different factions of buyers that are going on right now. We have the existing buyer that was getting on those lines and weren't able to fortify a house at that point in time, but now we're also getting the new buyer that's coming out that is accustomed to where these interest rates are. So the hardest part was probably transitioning the people that got pre-approved where rates were 3 or 4% and getting them used to the price points. And a lot of these people, as we know, kind of took a back seat to it. So the other thing that kind of has been interesting that I'm telling my real estate referral partners are those people that didn't buy aren't going to not buy. They've just kind of taken a back seat. So we have a pent-up demand starting to build up on the back side of this. So we're all looking forward, and me and Angelo talk about this a lot, on what's to come in the spring as some of these buyers that shelved themselves that were pre-approved that kind of took a step out of the market to wait for this stuff to level off, that'll wind up jumping back in. So we have a couple different dynamics and interesting things that are going to happen. One of the things that we realized on the real estate side was the importance of the supply to pick up. So even though it was detrimental to mine and Angelo's business in the slowdown in regards to people buying, we understood long term we needed the supply to start to increase. Right. And supply will bring back these buyers, and the leveling of the interest rate, now that the Fed kind of is getting to the point where they're feeling that inflation's under control, which is what caused that spike and the out of control interest rates to start happening, we're starting to get into a position where that's starting to ease. People are starting to call us and start getting kind of back into it. You guys are going to start to list, and I really think we're going to have a really good winter into early spring in regard to supply increase. People still want to get the heck out of it, especially these bad winters. We still have a ton of baby boomers that they're going to leave and they want to get to warmer places. We see things are going to start to move and facilitate. And I think on both the real estate and mortgage side of stuff, we're going to see a lot of positive spring market things to come.
Yeah. So just kind of feed off that. So here's the thing, like I notice as a realtor the following. There's going to be a number of people that may not jump out of a 3% rate to move up to buy with a 7% rate, right? They may be hesitant. But New York has always got a cycle of people that wants to leave. And no matter what, they're going to be leaving. They may be selling with cash. And if they're buying in retirement states, generally prices will be less.
Yep.
So they can probably buy cash.
Right.
So those folks are going to sell
They're
no
gonna
matter
sell.
what. They're going to go no matter what, right? They may, for many reasons, health reasons, weather, whatever it is. So that's not the concerning part of the market for us. And I do think over the past 2 years, we had a little bit of an unhealthy market.
Right.
Because it wasn't balanced in a sense.
Correct.
Like it wasn't normal. I've been doing this for 27 years, and that wasn't a normal market. Like as professionals, we all prefer a steady ebbs and flow kind of move through the market, right? That's what we kind of like
Yep.
in our business. So with mortgage rates kind of balancing out now, which ideally if it ends up in upper fives, low sixes, I think that's a sweet spot.
Definitely.
Do you see a difference in Q1 numbers versus Q4 numbers next year?
See, that's pretty interesting. So 2 months ago, everybody was upset. Everyone saw their interest rates go from 5, 6 to mid sevens, maybe as high as 8. They saw their buying power diminish. They saw the value of the home slip away in a way where the payments were so much higher than they anticipated.
Right.
Let's fast forward 60 days. In that interim, everybody that jumped in the market thought the rates they were at 7.5%, thought the rates were at 7%. In the past 10 days, we had the highest percentage decline in interest rates in 40 years.
Yep.
So the funniest thing is, 2 months ago, on this side, all the clients were upset.
Right.
60 days later, all our clients are super happy, hoping they could find that house and lock in. So really, it was only a small segment of the people that didn't close that got put in that window, but everybody else, you want to know what? They're motivated, they're fired up, and the rates, like you said, it's a healthy balance. Low sixes, some people got high fives, but right now we're in the sixes, and that's a healthy market, that's a healthy place, and I really feel, like you said, a lot of people with equity in their homes, when they sell their property and they're downsizing to somewhere in the south, they're going to be buying that more cash, so the interest rates aren't going to matter as much.
Doesn't matter to them
So
at
I
all.
think the professionals 2 months ago that said, you want to know what, I'm not going to get discouraged, I'm going to keep telemarketing, I'm going to keep doing all the things I'm supposed to do. You want to know what, today they're reaping the rewards. Everyone else that said, the industry's over 2 years, I'm going to look for something else. What? Rates are at 5.5, 5.75, I'm going to jump back in. It's ebbs and flows, and we've seen that all.
And you have to kind of look at that
Yeah.
in terms of stuff like that. Now, what I do find as a broker is that the messaging in the media, and the media loves bad stories, right? They
Yeah,
kind
of
of
course,
thrive on
yeah.
that. So that rate drop got a snippet of a messaging in the media, but the housing crisis and the drops and the huge increases and the slowdown in the market gets all the big news in media. So how can we as professionals maybe do a better job at kind of letting people know?
Jay, what do you think?
Well, I think a lot of what we've been focused on are things like this, where it's like now that we're utilizing video and social media and like more and more, it's at least getting to a point where the professionals can get their messages out instead of a news reporter that doesn't understand how markets are getting it out, because that's really been our problem forever, and they're so behind on it. I'll get a conversation with a client asking me about an interest rate rise where it's like it's already gone up and come down, and by the time the media gets to it and they're trying to, like you said, kind of spark a story on something that's not necessarily there, these things are moving on a daily basis. So when we're trying to get a lot of our information out to combat the misinformation all these people are doing, and I think as industry-wide and the things that we're doing especially, we're starting to at least make a little bit of headway to educate better than that has been in the past. It went from no information to an abundance of over-information, and that kind of, a lot of times when we're selling, as we know, we have to combat the lies or the miscommunication that's been going on, especially on the media side of things.
Let me ask you one more question, just to kind of wrap this up. So, end of the year is coming.
Yeah.
People filing their taxes in January 15. So, like, what advice would you have for folks that are going to be looking to get their taxes done maybe a little bit earlier because they want to buy a house next year?
That's a great question. One of our best referral sources is our CPAs. So around December, January, February, we sit down with a lot of our self-employed borrowers. We review their tax returns. We see exactly how much they qualify, what they made. And really, at the end of the day, they need to get an understanding of what it takes to purchase a home. And then, they have the ability to, basically go to their accountant, work with their accountant, take the deductions that are necessary, but they also understand what it is to purchase a home. And, at Contour Mortgage, the best part about it is we have full income loans, we have 24-month bank statement loans, we have verification of employment loans, we have bank statement loans, we have investment loans in regards to rental income. So we have every type of option available. So what we like to do around this time is sit with the CPAs, sit with the self-employed clients, figure out what they can approve, what they can't, and they kind of understand what that looks like, and they could react accordingly to what their goals are. Just quick question to yourself too. 2023 is coming around. What is your goal as an individual agent to grow? What are your some accomplishments that you want to get done?
Well, for me, I usually break my stuff up between business and family. I think most of us do. Like, we're all in the same boat with families and kids, and kind of try to find that balance. But ideally, for me, would be do more with the same amount of time that I put into the business, because I don't want to sacrifice that. So I do feel we're going to have a good early 20. We're going to have an average start of the year, but I think we're going to pick up a lot of steam second and third quarter next year. I do feel, because once this levels off and people got accustomed to that higher rate, and then we're back down to 5s or low 6s, it's going to be like, rates are great, let's do it. And there are people that need to buy.
Of course, always.
Jake, quick question.
Rents went up.
How many years have you been in the mortgage industry?
This is year 22 for me.
Shamir, how many years have you been a broker?
27.
I've been in it 25. You're looking at almost 80 years of experience.
We're old timers.
Old timers.
We've been around.
We were talking about
Multiple
that yesterday. Our goal is obviously to do business, but it's to champion the younger generation and really encourage them to get into the market like we were talking about. Jay, I'll leave you with your last word. What are you thinking?
I think that's a great point. I mean, right now, my biggest fear is the lack of youth that is coming into both the mortgage and real estate side, where this baton needs to be passed. And even though the world wants to commoditize us, like, we know that there's just too many moving parts that a computer's never going to be able to do the things that we do and solve the problems that we solve. And it's like, we need that next generation to understand that there's a lot of opportunity and value in what we do. And there's mentors like the three of us where we can really teach and help people grow in both of our industries. So I'm hoping that, beside the fact that we do all prosper with this, we start to be able to get that next generation to join the quest to help people, gain the knowledge and get to that level to, grow wealth and independence.
And Shamir, any last words?
No, it's been great. Always with you guys. Enjoy working with you. And this has been a great 2022. Triple Play, 2022 Lang City. Angelo Gionis, Jay, we're having fun. See you guys next year.